This is a video I've been debating with myself on for a while now. You know, whether to make it or not and all that. But you can't guess which decision I went with though. Sonic Superstars! It's a game I have not and will not buy. For the moment of its reveal, I wasn't able to hook me. See, with Mania, it had been a long while since we've seen a true-to-form classic 2D Sonic. I almost said Sonic Adventure, but I know what those two words back-to-back in the same sentence indicates, and that is not at all meant to be part of this discussion. Mania was a faithful and refreshing return to the series' roots after a long while of not having that luxury. Do I need to explain why Sonic 4 doesn't fit the bill? Being the impressionable teen I was at the time, the game was an easy sell, especially because throughout my time of being a Sonic fan, up until that point, there hadn't really been anything like that for me prior. Man, if you don't get the hell out of here, another thing Mania had going for it with its fair price of admission. $20? I mean, come on, even my broke, jobless teenage self was able to scrounge the cash for that at the time. Superstars, however, came out at a time where Sega's hubris grew after some movie successes, and as a result, wait, how is this game still $60? I wanted to fact check myself and would have at least cut it a little slack if there had been a price drop by now, but no. Huh. Well, I guess we're digging all the way into this now. Superstars had a lot more to prove to me. What made it a worthwhile successor to Mania? What was it going to innovate on from the classic Sonic formula? What new things would it bring to the table? What justified it being $60 damn, man? With me being at the point where buying games was now primarily out of my own wallet, I wasn't so easy to buy in anymore. Clearly, Superstars didn't end up satisfying any of those aforementioned inquiries though, seeing as how I still have not purchased it. And won't. So, what went wrong? How did Sonic Superstars fail to hook me? By simply not having a hook. Contrary to any classic Sonic game before it, Superstars sports a 2.5D aesthetic, 3D assets and models in a 2D plane, much like the retro studio Donkey Kong Country games or a certain other game Superstars just had to release around the same time of. This style is pleasing to the eye, and I was always quick to note how good the game looked, but it was going to take a lot more than style. It needed substance. So what was Superstars promising to bring to the table upon its release? 4-player co-op in a Sonic game, gimmicky emerald abilities that look more to break the flow of the game than complement it, and an online mode that I swear no living soul is playing as I record this. Oh hey, would you look at that? I don't care for any of this. So all the new stuff Superstars was heavily selling itself on were all misses as far as I was concerned. Didn't care for any of it much at all, and figured from the get-go that 4-player co-op in a Sonic game wasn't feasible. I mean, come on, that's just self-evident. The biggest selling point Superstars had for me was that it was a new Sonic game. And that was the biggest selling point because it was the only selling point. But maybe I was being a little too hard on it. Perhaps my view on the game would change once it came out. Guys, remember, we live in a dystopia. So the game released, and I would watch review after review and video essay after video essay to see what I may have been missing out on. And the impression that I left with after that venture was actually worse than what it was before its release. The game has janky bugs and glitches, the level design looks mediocre with generic platforming biomes, the boss fights are intrusively long, especially with a song as short and annoying as this. Yikes. Speaking of music, the soundtrack as a package is mid. While I have not played the game, I did listen to its soundtrack extensively, and that was the opinion that resulted, so not even the music was doing it any favors. So, was that it? Was there any saving grace for this game at all? Anything at all that would have me at least consider changing my mind? I'm gonna stop with the dramatics. The answer is no. I'm sorry, Sonic Superstars just looks so soulless. I look at it and I feel nothing. I don't see a game that aims to evolve the classic Sonic formula. I see a cheap pacifier to give to the people who've been clamoring for a Mania sequel over the years in order to make a quick buck. Now, I know Superstars never promised to be a major step forward for the classic series or anything, and if you like it in spite of that, or hell, even because of that, then don't let me ruin that for you, and I sincerely mean it when I say good for you. But you gotta understand, that is not what I wanted, and still is not what I want, so I refuse to play for it. Seriously, why is the game still $60? It didn't deserve that pricing then, and it still doesn't now. Most things about this game look so been there and done that, and everything new that it does add are not at all worthwhile additions that justify its price of admission for me. I feel nothing for Sonic Superstars, so it won't be getting a cent out of me. Seriously baffles me that they had the balls to drop it around the same time as Mario Wonder. In what alternate universe would that have worked in their favor? Thanks for 1K subscribers.